Life in choir. To leave the temple is to land in this reality, you have to live and earn a living. So I went back to school. Music came to the rescue. Playing, singing, making people sing, creating shows kept me busy for 10 years. First by passing 2 diplomas and then by practicing in schools and colleges, conservatories, and music schools. I also created my own adult choir. The first time I stood in front of an orchestra and a choir, I felt for the first time exactly where I belonged. At least there, being a woman was no longer a problem. I had received a phone call a month earlier asking me if I would be willing to do a replacement in a conservatory for a master class. I had accepted, even though it was quite far from home. It was the job I had dreamed of. The director asked me if I would do the concert scheduled for the end of the month. I couldn't see myself saying no, so I said yes. I had never conducted a choir or an orchestra in my life. On the first day, when he showed me around, I thought to myself, but they will eventually realize I am not capable. I felt like an intruder. The evening of the premiere came. I went and hid in the toilet and prayed to Srimati Radharani. Please, I really need your help now. I need you to work a miracle. I found myself with my back to the audience. The room was packed. All the top brass from the city were there. All the other teachers were there, including the headmaster. I could feel that they were all waiting for me, curious to see how the new girl would do. We played some excerpts from 4's Requiem. During the concert, I felt at peace, calm. I was exactly where I needed to be. At the end, a head teacher from the neighboring academy came up to me, held out her hand and said with a knowing look, "Thank you. You have been doing this for a long time." In my heart I laughed because I knew who had arranged and harmonized everything. Then the director came up to me and said, "It was very good, I give you carte blanche for this year." What a gift! How could I not have faith after something like that? I saw a life-size, living, ultra-concrete manifestation of God's action. And it was divinely good. As much as the work was exciting, things at home were heavy. I rested while working. One day, after yet another argument, when I tried to make him understand that it was compulsory to take out insurance for the car, which was an obvious thing, well no, he didn't understand that, a car I had given him as well. He exploded and said he wanted to leave me. This time I was ready. I asked him several times. If this is what you really want, then do it. And in 20 minutes he packed up, shared the books we had in common, got his children into the car and left. It was the day of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's disappearance anniversary. A bitter mercy, but a blessed one, for it cleansed and liberated a situation that had been incompatible from the start. I could not fit into the role he wanted me to play, as I could not accept and harmonize with who he was at that time. Beyond the ephemeral attraction of our bodies, our trajectories were not parallel. By forcing myself to walk next to him at all costs, I had done like the Little Mermaid, I had given up my path and I had gone off course. Each step became very painful and no happiness or peace came out of it. Everything was artificial. Again, there was no true love. It took me several years to repair myself and to finally admit I had replayed the family program that had been programmed into my cells, but this program did not fit me. I was able to identify through this pain, what my true nature was. I was also able to better understand how my own mother must have felt trapped and how some of her reactions, so acidic in my eyes, were the result of the inner bitterness she carried from her suppressed vocation. Again, this does not excuse, but explains the facts. You want children, like you want a toy, but you don't know how to love them. I had done the same with a man. I had accepted this man with 2 children, when I was incapable of loving them, and vice versa. From wound to wound, everyone carries their cross and everyone suffers. It's stupid. You might as well withdraw and accept only what you can carry. I was in this big empty house, in the middle of the living room where half-empty boxes were scattered everywhere. And then suddenly I saw Srila Prabhupada's smiling face, as if he wanted to come out of the frame where he was sitting among his stacked books, to tell me, "Don't worry, I'm here. It's all right." It was supernatural, but this separation was remote controlled, and under high protection. Life resumed in fits and starts. I moved out, he wanted to come back. But I had regained my taste for autonomy and freedom, and in the game of "I'm running away from you, you're following me," he was the one who got caught in the end. The whirlwind of classes, concerts, and shows flew by as quickly as the kilometers. I would leave at 7 o'clock in the morning and not return until about 8 or even midnight, because of the rehearsal. M would leave and return from school alone. And one morning in January, on the first day of school, there was this bad patch of ice. Roll over, crash, black hole. I lost consciousness. When I woke up, I didn't know who I was. I could only see the firemen were cutting the roof off my car. I won a helicopter ride and a nice article with a picture in the newspaper. I didn't want to go to work anymore, or to live for that matter, so life stopped me. And I lay on the sofa for several months without moving, my head empty, suspended in mid-air. Accidents and shocks, especially to the head, never happen by chance. They allow us to move and break the levers that were preventing us from moving forward. As a result, my contract was not renewed and I was transferred to another area. I was changing colleges, my whole life was changing once again.